beating you over the head like, you dirty scoundrel, you, man. How dare you go to the dark side? You went to the dark side, man. You drugging? Oh, see that? The evolved side. Well, hi, this is John Hart, and welcome back to Mr. America Hart. Today, I'm back once again with Ruben Salas, top NPC, Classic Bodybuilder.
That's me.
That's the division. Classic Bodybuilding, right? I don't want to get confused because he used to be in men's physique, but that was when he was in the natural competition. So look, we're going to get right to it, but I want to give you a quick 10-second rundown here. Ruben used to compete in the natural organizations. Now he's transitioned into the NPC. He did very, very well in the natural organization, but now in the NPC, he's going after that IFBB Pro card. That's the goal, right?
That's it.
Right. We've already done a couple of interviews with him on training, on his decisions, on why he went the way he did. And you can look for those videos in the video description down below. But today, specifically because you asked for it, I'm covering his diet. So today, Ruben, I'm going to hit you with some questions. I have my notebook here that I wrote them down for him, okay? So, what was your diet during your first few years of training as you tried to build up naturally? So in the beginning, how long have you been training now?
5 years.
5 years. So the first few years, when did you compete? What year was your first show?
First show was in 2016.
So you had been training for 3 years at that point?
Yeah, 3 years.
Three?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was your diet trying to build up when you first started getting into it?
So for the first 3 years, I mean, I was new to training, new to diet, nutrition. So it was a lot of, you know, oh, I just gotta eat seafood, eat food type of thing. And then right away,
Seafood diet.
Right. And so right away you start to see the body fat come on. And you know, me personally, as soon as I see that, I don't like it.
Right.
And so I started doing, you know, just quick research. But I started getting into macros. So first diet, you know, it was just an experiment. You know, protein was moderate. Carbs have always been high, and I would say almost like low fats most of the time.
So when you say moderate protein, about how much protein would that be?
At the time, I think 180, 150, around that.
Right.
It was,
and how much were you weighing?
Let's see, 170, 180.
Now, Ruben's always been very lean. You were always very lean as a natural. You were always very lean.
Right.
Abs year round. So 180 is very lean for you. 175 was a lean weight for you. It was like
I was always walking around maybe, what, 9%, 10%?
Yes, I agree. All the time. Okay, so you were basically doing the seafood diet to try and build up. A lot of guys do that.
At first, yeah.
Yeah. And then you kind of narrowed it down to get a little bit better quality protein.
Yeah, and I would always, you know, like most people, you demonize certain foods. Oh, you can't have this type of
Right.
food. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean, you know, that's how I didn't really have fruits. I did a lot of vegetables at first, and then you do the rice, and that's all you were eating as carbs. And all of a sudden you find out, okay, I can eat a little bit, you know, different sources of foods without it affecting my body.
Right. So did you have a coach or anybody helping you out during that process?
No.
So you were just winging it all by yourself?
Right. All the way up until my first competition. Just winging it, just going through it, experimenting.
Wow. Turning natural pro in that first competition too, not bad.
Yeah, that's when I really got on it with, okay, let me track my protein, let me track my carbs.
Right.
And you know, at the time, at that time, I had already taken nutrition classes.
Right.
So I kind of figured, okay, I got this, yeah.
College student at the time?
Yeah.
Okay, so that first natural competition, your diet, when you went from your off-season to the contest itself, how did that change? What kind of diet did you do that first show? Because you were in fabulous shape, so
yeah.
Plenty of muscle, really ripped.
You know what's funny is, see, I committed to that show maybe 8 weeks out.
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of people do this their first show. Carbs and fats went out the window.
It's all protein.
All protein and veggies.
Like,
and guess how I felt, you know?
Shrinkage.
Yeah, and I felt it, and I was sluggish, and
wow.
You know, I was like, okay, this is not working. You know, this is not working. I need help. And I would go to people and ask, and then again, I did my own research, and I was like, okay, I can get away with, you know, doing more carbs and kind of tapering them down.
Right.
But for that first show with my diet, I mean, like I said, the protein was always moderate, but that whole 8 to 10 weeks, my carbs and fats were just low.
Right.
And it was the hardest prep. I just killed myself. and yeah, of course you lose muscle, but I was willing to suffer because I wanted to win.
Right, right. But now as a natural, so you said a key phrase right there. As a natural, you lost muscle, of course.
Yeah.
Okay? You did a high protein diet, drop the carbs, drop the fats. I found this to be true as well. As a natural, you can't do that.
No.
You can't do that. You have to be more moderate about everything. It's like a slow, turn the ship degree by degree, gently, right?
Yeah. That's a good way to say it, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have to change it just literally by degrees. Turn the steering wheel slowly, and your body doesn't freak out and doesn't give up all the muscle that you've earned. Correct?
Yeah.
All right.
You get stringy fast.
So do you remember, like, just for example, do you remember what your diet looked like when you were doing all the protein? And just for that competition, what it looked like?
It was, yeah, I mean, like I said, fats, carbs.
Give us an example of just a day. Do you remember?
Wake up in the morning, egg whites and broccoli.
Okay.
Second meal, chicken and broccoli.
Okay.
And it was like that. And the only time I'd have a little bit of carbs was after my workout.
Training, okay.
Yeah, and that was how like the first few weeks was like, and I just couldn't do it anymore.
Egg whites, broccoli, chicken, broccoli.
That's it.
But what was the rest of your day like after that?
Chicken, broccoli, chicken. I thought that eating red meat, I couldn't do it.
Okay,
at the time.
So chicken and broccoli. Chicken breasts, of course.
Chicken breasts,
right?
Yeah.
Now, what would you have as carbs after you were done training?
White rice. And
White rice.
To this day, it's the same. Always white rice.
Yeah, I love that too. So how many meals a day would you eat that way, though?
I would say 5, I think.
Okay, so 5 meals pre-contest.
Yeah.
High protein, some fibrous carbs, which pretty much is none.
It was, yeah.
Vegetables, low carbohydrate vegetables, low calorie vegetables, and then you literally would have nothing else but the rice after you were training. How much rice?
A cup.
A cup.
Okay, actually,
boy, you were suffering. Oh,
I did have a bodybuilding friend who went to my church, and I kind of talked to him a little bit, and he was like, "Bro, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
And that's when, when I started my diet, 3 weeks later, I kind of switched it up. So then I started adding a little bit of more carbs. Then I had the oats in the morning,
right,
and then some more rice before my workout, and I kind of kept it like that.
It probably saved you a little bit of muscle mass near the end,
Yeah.
Probably helped you a little bit, but you were in great shape. So okay, so now we've discussed in our previous interviews your transition from natural to, we like to say, enhanced. It's a good word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just polite. I'm being polite,
That's
right?
the one.
That's it. Because otherwise we sit here beating you over the head like, you dirty scoundrel, you, man. How dare you go to the dark side? You went to the dark side, man. You druggie.
It's the evolved side.
Oh, see that? The evolved side. Well, look, I'm a bodybuilder, man, and I love you no matter what, and I never judge anybody over that stuff. But look, the information is really interesting to myself, but also to the subscribers to the channel. So look, tell us, that first year when you decided, so what year was it that you decided to go enhanced? 2018?
2018, it was after my first NPC Classic Physique show.
Right, I remember.
Yeah.
You first competed naturally in NPC. So the following year you decided to go enhanced, do what you have to do to move up to the next level. And when you did that, what was your off-season diet like? I assume that it's going to be more calories, but
it was.
There, tell the gentleman, tell the ladies and gentlemen.
It was. Right after the competition, I did, rebound well.
Yes.
For like about 4 weeks. And then straight, I think I did 200, 400, 600 carb cycling. 200,
Okay.
And my fats, would be maybe 50 to 70 grams of fat. But yeah, it was like right. And it was funny. That's the most food I've ever eaten, and then all of a sudden, you start to see the size come on. But not too. I didn't gain too much fat.
So were you already enhanced at that point?
I was.
So how far after that last show?
After I rebounded, 3-4 weeks out later.
Then you hit it.
As soon as I started my bulk.
Then you hit it. You loaded the syringe, man. You got it.
What? I went for...
We got to have fun with this, man. I mean, really. You hit it 3 or 4 weeks out from the show. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right.
Full throttle.
Okay, full throttle. So I assume also, how was the protein intake? Did you have help? Did you have help?
By the time...
A coach?
I got some help, yeah.
Okay, so you had coaching.
By that time, more schooling, just more... I just was way better, wiser. And I knew my stuff by then. So protein went from about 225, 250 to about 300.
You're asking me or telling me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm asking and telling. Maybe you can remember better.
Yeah, I can remember. 350, 400. You mean from our previous videos?
Right.
Okay, it was more specific.
It was about 300. Not until the next year, the following year, I went up.
Okay.
Protein.
So initially it was 300. We're talking about your off season now, right? Of your first cycle.
Yeah.
And you're trying to put on mass.
Now keep in mind, I'm trying to hit 300, but in reality, I'm always falling short about 250.
Okay. Okay. You know, it was hard for you to do. I remember.
Yeah.
So you're still eating carbs and fats at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you overall, your calories, how much did they go up to support that? And I'm going to say this 25-pound gain, right?
Right.
25 pounds? 20 pounds of lean on stage, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
From competing from 175 to 195. Yeah. 20, yeah.
And how high did your body weight go above? Did it go much above 195?
Yeah. So the highest I got was before my last competition this year was I want to say 212.
Okay,
12.
so
That's the heaviest I've been in off season. 212.
Yeah, it's about 35 pounds heavier than what you used to be in off season.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So during that time, about how much more food calorically would you say you ate? Twice as much? 1.5 times as much?
One and a half. I went from maybe like 25, 28. Yeah. I always remembered. I used to track my stuff. It was 28. You know, that was enough. Okay.
For the off season. Keep those abs. Right. I remember.
All right, I'm there. And then close to 4,000.
Okay, so
half.
This is a real lesson. As a natural, Ruben spent a long time in his off season. I'd see him in his off season constantly, beautiful symmetry, abs, all off season long. And I urged him all the time to increase his food.
You did.
And so when you got on, though, you increased it significantly.
Yeah.
But I can verify he still had abs going for him the entire time. So 35-pound gain, pretty exciting.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I'd push it just enough where when I start to not see them,
right.
All right, let me just taper it down.
Right. So you built up to 4,000 calories about.
Yeah, I think the food really did make a difference in that growth, because I even with being enhanced, I don't really push it.
Right.
Very very minimum. But the food, I think that's what really. I mean, we know that all day. You can take all the stuff in the world, but you're not eating what you're supposed to be eating. You ain't growing.
I know that. They don't know that. And
right.
Tell them. It's not just the drugs. Tell them, please.
It's the food and the training. You can take whatever you want, how much you want, for however long, yet your nutrition and training's not there, you're going to look the same. There's
people that we've seen in the gym who literally are taking
it's
boatload of
funny
stuff,
these days,
and they look terrible.
There's people in the gym who you don't even think they're taking stuff.
That's embarrassing.
And I had to learn that, oh, he's natural, he's not.
Right. No, they weren't natural. Right.
I'm like, man, that's the sad.
Isn't that funny? And then they blame the genetics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's just genetic. But I see you over there sitting on that machine for about 20 minutes not doing anything. Wow.
But one thing I do see you doing on the regular is at the gym, he's religious about his eating, right? Regularly, if it's time to eat, he's eating. That's it, right? You have a good deal with one of the restaurants down the block to feed you as well, I know. So most Mediterranean places, the kid eats.
Everybody hates when I come in with that. Every day, I'm there.
Yeah. Well, it's delicious food as well.
Shout out to Seasoning Alley.
That's it. Give it up for them. Good. So that was your first diet in your off season to build up, and it did work, right? Significantly well. Yeah. You put on 35 total pounds, 20 pounds of stage weight. Okay. Yeah. And of course, we talked in the last show, or one of them, about how you'd like to tighten it up a little bit just to find that peak.
Right.
Which I agree. Okay. And we'll put some pictures. Give me some pictures too. We could put up for them to see. So look, your diet. So this will be my last question for you today. Your diet for that enhanced competition that you just did over the summer, that first enhanced diet, how was it?
Now that's when it got tricky. That's when it got hard. That's when all the stuff that worked for me in the past and cutting down for a competition didn't work anymore. Right. It just didn't work. Like what did you say? Body chemistry was it just changed?
Yeah, it's different body chemistry.
It was just different. Like I said, I've always done pretty well with carbs. In the last video, we talked about it.
Yeah.
I just talked about it today, 2, 4, 6, 600, carb cycling, bulking. And I would kind of do the same thing, drop it going down. So this time I tried doing the same thing. Just increase my low days of carbs. So it would be what, 3 days of 200, high day 400, 3 days of 200, high day 600. And I kind of went like that.
Nice.
Coming down.
Nice.
And it got to the point where I went even lower to 100 carbs on my low days and about 300 on my high days. And I was looking the same as I was with the 200, 400. And I'm like, okay, what's going on?
Right.
It's usually when I would prep before, when I made that drop, it would just like
naturally.
Bam. Yeah,
you were natural, yes.
Bam, striations started coming. And I make the next drop, boom, it's even more. And this time we just wasn't going. I'm like, okay, well, I'm dropping the carbs, it's not working. When we go back up, see what's up with my metabolism, it still wasn't working.
Right, you had the new biochemistry.
Right, and then it wasn't till the very, I mean, I was lean, but it wasn't what I knew I could get to. And so as soon as I removed the carbs completely and picked up the fats, it was like a day's worth was like a week's worth of transformation. It was just like bam, bam, bam.
Results started coming.
Right.
When you say drop the carbs entirely?
Pretty much entirely.
I mean, vegetables, you would have vegetables still.
I would have veggies, and, maybe I would say maybe 50 some days.
Okay.
But, it was
so
like
very, very low
very
carb,
low.
50 grams of carbs.
Yeah.
And how many?
It was like, I remember it was like 0, 0, 0, and then I did 50.
Oh, that was your carb day, 50?
Yeah, the high.
I was about to ask you, would you have a carb day involved in that?
Yeah.
50 grams.
But this was the last, week, 2 weeks. That I couldn't. If I had known that, maybe I would have played it a little bit different sooner. But it was to the very end, and I couldn't. It was we ran out of time when I figured out how my body responds.
Okay, so how high in the fats did you go? Do you know?
Ooh, I would say like 100, 120, close to. There was a lot of red meat, a lot of avocado. It was almond butter. Cut that out. So yeah, I just want to say red meat, avocado. I'm missing coconut oil.
Coconut oil. Okay.
Yeah.
So various types of fat sources.
Yeah.
And then protein. How did that during your?
Yeah. So, like I said, my protein usually was 300. I'd fall short to 250. I always find
common theme with you, but yeah.
And it was just tough. So
got to fix that to get that pro card, man. But go ahead.
I'm working on it. Still working on it. And then I got to 350, 375, 375. That's what I was trying to hit, and I was hitting it, but it was just right here. I just couldn't stomach it all.
Too much.
I just couldn't, So this year was a learning experience. It was tough, but now we know what the diet's gonna.
Now initially you're going to jump in on a higher fat plan when you do hit it with a reasonably high amount of protein as well.
Yeah.
But very low carb and slight adjustments up for a day because you have a different biochemistry now.
Yeah.
All right. So look, man, I appreciate you stopping on by today. I know that everybody watches this, they appreciate you too, and they'll hit us with comments on the bottom, I'm sure. Hey, you guys, before you leave, all the way to your right, you're going to see there's a red subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button. All the way off to your left, you can see a thumbs up. If you're liking these videos, please drop a thumbs up on us as well. And all the way down at the bottom, comment. Go ahead and throw down the comments. I mean, Ruben gets on there once in a while and he answers them, or I'll try and answer them for you. I'll get the information for you when I get the chance. We love reading the comments, so go ahead and feel free to do it. And in the meanwhile, Ruben Salas, future IFBB Pro.
Speak it into existence, John.
That's exactly it. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you, okay? Just keep an eye on this kid. He's going to do great. It's coming up. You have anything else you'd like to add? Any sponsors you'd like to mention before we go?
We got one right here, Versus Clothing.
Versus. How do we spell Versus?
VERSUS and then clothing. I think that's their Instagram. No hashtag, no nothing.
I'll put that down in the video description as well.
Right. And then Seasoning Alley again. Shout out to
them. Monrovia, California. Right. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much. Again, Ruben. Thank you for watching this video and all of my videos. Please take the time to subscribe and like and give me your comments below. I love hearing them. Thank you.